Taylor walked out of the courtroom, responded in that gallery. And what did you make of his emotion, though? Throughout, I think, both direct and cross-examination, it was just extraordinary to watch him look at the jury and to have those moments trying to hold back some of his emotion. Do you think it came across sincere?
I think it did. I think this is incredibly emotional for him. I think this is a nightmare scenario if you're a police officer. What folks need to understand is that many officers will go their entire career without ever drawing their weapon, ever. And here they're executing a warrant, and not only do they have to fire, but they're returning fire from one of their officers being shot. I mean, this is a thing that I think he imagined he could hope he could go his entire career never having to confront. And now it's played out in front of him. And now there's an innocent person who's dead. His fellow officer has been shot. And now he's being accused of a crime. I think it's an incredibly emotional thing for him, and I think it was sincere. Obviously the jurors will be the ones to kind of judge that, but I think he scored points for himself. If I'm allowed to be kind of cynical about it, he scored points for himself in showing that emotion, because it demonstrated for the jurors that this was not a robotic thing for him, that he was dealing with a high pressure situation and a chaotic situation that just ended with tragedy.
Right. He's human too. He was vulnerable, I think, on the witness stand. You're right. And
Yeah.
Smart strategy for the defense to put him up there. We don't always see a defendant take the stand. It can be risky. I'm sure they probably practiced with him and were able to tell that he was going to come across in the way that he did today. And you're right. It always comes down to that jury. But let's talk about the reaction, though, from the gallery, because I've been in so many courtrooms, Josh, and the jury notices what happens in the gallery. And during his testimony, we had the reaction from Breonna Taylor's family, her mother literally running out of the courtroom at one point. How much does that really affect the juror as they take in such key testimony?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously they're paying attention to it. Obviously it's playing some role in their heads. I think, I think they already understand the attention that this case has, how this case involves a person who was shot, but that's not really what they're here to decide. So I don't know if it plays a role in their decision making, but it obviously is something that they were paying attention to, and is going to be in the back of their heads when they start to deliberate this case. I just don't know how that will all work out in the end.
Certainly. Let's talk about